So, market's been pretty choppy, pretty sideways for the past few days, and that's pretty much a good sign that we will see some incoming volatility. Question is, which way will that volatility push price? Will it be up or will it be down? There's some things on the COT that's starting to look a little bit scary, but not a complete real reason to be concerned just yet. Also, we'll take a look at a few real levels in price, some things on the order book that are starting to poke out there and show itself to us. Also, we'll take a look at sentiment, liquidations over the past 24 hours, all of that good stuff. We'll take a look at some long-term charts for Bitcoin and alts to see where there may be some buying opportunities if in fact price does fall, which we think may be in the cards for the upcoming weeks. These are typically bullish months for Bitcoin. Lots of, historical reasons to be bullish for this month. But we do have to be a bit careful because price could chop us up a bit if you are in fact trading. So lots to talk about today. And if you don't know who I am, it's your boy Maestro. Thanks for tuning in to The Long and Short. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get started on Bitcoin futures. Few things that we want to point out here when it comes to this. So last week we did point out the CME futures gap that did get filled. Okay. Also, price did come down and pretty much got supported by the 18 EMA, not the 9. It pretty much spiked through it. Okay. And you see that the stacking is starting to tighten up just a little bit, but not very much. Essentially because you had a really nice up move, which allowed these to stack, and now you're starting to move sideways. So you're not going to get too much tightening of this stack unless price decides to push back down through them. Okay, so we're going to be watching for this because there's a couple of things on the commitment of traders that we're looking to see. All right, now whether or not price is supported by these, EMAs is not really what we're looking for. We're really more focused on where the larger speculators are and where the retail is and what the commercials are going to be doing depending on those positions. So if you don't understand how the commitment of traders works, the blue line is the smaller speculators. You can call that retail traders, really anyone trading with under $1 million, 2 million, really lower levels of trading capital, right? Even guys are like 10 million, $20 million, they're still considered retail traders. Then you have your larger speculators, which are your hedge funds, your big banks. Then you have your commercials, which are essentially in crypto, which you would consider the miners, the people that hold the supply for the most part. All right. Now, whenever the commercials are fulfilling orders to the downside, meaning they're net short, okay, that means that either the larger speculators or the retail is buying Bitcoin. All right. So you can see commercials are pretty much net short for the majority of the year, but now they're starting to creep up a little bit according to what the larger speculators are doing. Now, this is not a major jump up from this negative 500 line, which is a good sign. Okay. But the higher that these commercials go, the more concerned that we have to be that larger speculators are taking really, really, really big short positions, because who else is going to serve it up to them if the retail is buying but the commercials? Okay. So that's how this works. There's a yin and yang to this. And if I'm seeing that the retail speculators are climbing, larger speculators are now dropped below that zero line, and the commercials are starting to serve up more net long positions because the larger speculators are going short. Excuse me. Hope you guys get that. If commercials are rising and larger speculators are going short, that means that the price may actually fall. Okay. So these are things that we're watching for. Remember, guys, larger speculators are always intending to put you on the wrong side of a trade. This is how they maintain their money. Okay. They win, you lose. As long as they're playing the psychological game of, oh, we have rising prices to set you up to go short, right? And the commercials play along with that, then you're set up, okay? And if you can look here, we sort of had a peak on our elder ray and we're starting to come down off that a bit. They already tried to take control when it comes to bearish power, essentially because the larger speculators are starting to push short. All right. So lots of information that we can just grab from the futures to understand where price may be trying to go. And then we cap that off by looking at the money flow index, which you do have some money coming out of the market, as well as the open interest, which has seemed to dip a bit. All right. So lots of different indicators telling me that price may want to go short. The only hope that we have is that price may bounce off of some of these EMAs. But how big is that of a hope as compared to what the larger speculators are doing and the commercials are doing, what the elder ray is showing you, what the money flow index is showing you, and what open interest is showing you. Okay, so just putting the pieces together is going to allow you to create a narrative or a story about what the market may be trying to do. Okay, so for example, this morning, if I'm understanding that the majority of the weight is going to be short, this up move didn't really show me enough to where I'm convinced that we're going to be turning bullish. Even if we're getting this stacking in EMAs, even if all of the indicators are telling us yes, even if we're breaking out of previous high levels. Because I understand the greater scheme of things is really to confuse traders, put traders on the wrong side of the trade for the larger speculators to take the profit, right? That's really what this whole thing is all about. All right, and if we look at some real levels here, let's just go to the daily chart on Trading Light. And this is Bitcoin daily Binance chart. You can see, the volume profile is pretty much trying to push us down from these levels around 47,000. 48, we said, was pretty much the level that we wanted to watch to see if we can break through it to get to 50K. 50K is the biggest level that we're watching. 260 worth of Bitcoin orders there, 255 worth at 48, right? More like 48.5. But this shows us that there is some resistance from the top. Who is pushing price down? It's probably the larger institutions, of course, who bought earlier when nobody else wanted to buy Bitcoin at 30K. Understand how the game rolls out over time. It's not just about what's happening today, guys. The market is about what happened 6 months ago, 7 months ago, 10 months ago, 12 months ago. And the reason why is because these larger speculators, they have the ability to wait you out. They can sit in a trade that's down 10, 20, 30% with no sweat, because they understand that when the market comes back to those levels and they can help push it to the levels they want to see, they'll be able to close those trades out either in profit or break even. And that's all they're looking to do. Okay, because the order sizes that they put on are so large that even just a little bit of a percentage of a profit is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. All right, guys, so just understand the grand scheme of things and the scale of things and how the larger institutions can wait us out essentially from any position that we're in compared to what they're in. Doesn't matter. They can wait. All right. We want to see the profits immediately. That's why we go and do the degenerate scalping on Bybit and use leverage and do all of these things, is because we want the immediate returns. Institutions can wait. All right. So 48.50, those are your big resistance levels. Not a lot to catch us to the downside in regards to support until you get somewhere around 40K. All right, guys. So that's just the reality of what we're seeing on the order book. And again, we're not going to fluff you with a bunch of news or whatever people may be talking about positive in the market. If we see bearish continuation, right, based on this up move and what price leaves to the downside, we're going to call it out. Just like we'll see it to the upside, we'll call it out. There was imbalances left in price over this up move, okay? Price is going to probably go back to get that. But when? Probably after it fulfills its move to the downside, all right? You got to understand price is getting drawn one way or the other, and you just have to catch the macro move of whichever way price wants to draw itself, right? Whether that's down or up. That's how you last in trading. When it comes down to current sentiment, we're looking at around 52% on Fair and Green Index, around $54 million liquidated over the past 24 hours. There's not a lot of movement in the market. We're just kind of stuck in this range. We're going to show you guys this when we get to the charts, but really not a ton of action going on in the market. We actually haven't been trading on the demo account. We've been taking live trades, since price is kind of stuck in this range. We're doing a few things, testing out, playing the top and the bottom of that range. Some things are working out, some things aren't. But for the most part, guys, if there's not a lot of volatility in the market, there's really not a lot to do in regards to trading. All right, so just coming back to these charts here, we kind of covered all of the bases in regards to what the sentiment and things are. Oh, there's one more thing that I want to point out. Let's go into some of these legacy charts. Not necessarily Fair and Greed, but we wanted to point out also that on your 2-year multiplier for Bitcoin, right, if we kind of zoom this in a little bit, you can see that price is still kind of hovering right around this bottom standard deviation line. And if price were to fall, right, the lowest we think it will probably get to is around 33,330. If that is the floor for Bitcoin, that was the floor last summer. Could it be the floor this summer? It's a good question, right? But this is continuing to rise. But in order for us to really get some nice bullish movement, we may actually have to see prices visit these areas lower for these bigger institutions to buy up more to push the price higher. All right. Or for retail to kind of kick it into gear and push the price higher as well. There's a lot of different factors that play into whether price rises or falls, but this is one of them, right? The 2-year MA multiplier. If price were to touch this green line, we're looking for bullish activity. All right, same thing with the 200-week moving average heat map. Again, not a lot of movement over the 200-week moving average heat map, right? We're still in this blue zone in regards to movement, right? And as you guys can see, this blue dot indicates that there's not a lot of movement month to month, or week to week, right? But what we do want to see is if this activity picks up, will it pick up somewhere around this lower level, right? If price were to fall, or at a higher level. If it starts to pick up at higher levels, this also gives us indications on when we may actually want to get out, or where price may actually be starting to find a high. Very aggressive movements week to week, right? It means that price is going up and people are taking profits at those levels, right? So we're going to use this in a couple of different ways. But right now, being that we're sort of consolidating closer to this purple line, I'm thinking that we may start to get some sort of explosion, but we may need to see lower prices before that explosion happens. Another thing that backs this up is the pure multiple, right? We're seeing if price were to drop into this green zone, that's when you're going to get your bigger explosions to the upside, but we're not there yet. And price may actually need to fall before we reach that level, right? So lots of different things are telling us that price may actually want to dip a bit, not necessarily rise, but dip a bit. All right. So let's go into some tighter time frames, maybe the 15 minutes, start to take a look at what's happening here. All right. So for the most part, guys, price has been pretty much moving sideways, but now you're starting to get a big push in continuation into the downside. And actually, let's scroll this out to the hour, right? Because the hourly is going to show us a lot more. This big imbalance here, we said that price will probably start to trade somewhere around it, right? So it crashed through it, came back up into it, and then now you're starting to get supported a bit, where you were being supported, right, over the course of last week. But now you're starting to come back into this imbalance. So you may trade around here a bit during the course of this week. Price will look like it's picking a direction, then it may just launch up. All right, but couple of things that we're also paying attention to. You do have some imbalances to the downside here, right? This red line kind of calls it out. And then there's another one down here. So where's the lowest areas? 43, 41. These are the two areas that we were talking about before. If we go on to our heat map and look at 43, it's about right there. Not a lot of support there, guys, right? Maybe some. 41, not a lot of support there. Right? So will these levels get a bit thicker if price were to fall there? I'm pretty sure that they would, but these are areas of imbalance that price may actually want to go back and get, and it looks like it's starting to try to take its way on that journey now, okay? You're starting to get a big down day in crypto, so this may be a pretty ugly Monday coming into the beginning of the week, which does give me some confidence that we could see higher prices towards the end of the week. But again, if you zoom this out, go to the daily, you're pretty much still stuck in a range, which is what we called out before. All right. So if you're thinking about swing trading, if you're thinking about scalping, your bias, I think at this point, is to the bearish side. Many different things that we showed you guys to point that out. Now, some people may think that we're always bearish on this channel. We're not. We're not. We're very bullish on Bitcoin. The thing is that when we see things in the market, we're going to point them out to you, whether they're bullish or bearish. Okay. And it doesn't matter, guys, whether or not price is going up or down if you're trading. If you're investing, we're showing you those areas where to get in, right? You're actually starting to see some pretty good buying opportunities that may pop up again somewhere around the 40K level. I don't know if price is going to go back to 30K, but if it does, those are still optimal buying areas for Bitcoin. And we show you guys these areas all the time. Okay. But for the most part, guys, price is starting to work its way back down. You can see a couple of different reasons why. Price created a level, set a table, spiked through it. Now you're starting to work its way to the downside. You may get nice pushes up to continue down, but your weight, your angle, your trend line is to the downside. Okay. Once again, we call the bull trap. This may actually be the playing out of the bull trap if price continues to fall. right? We did kind of confirm it last week when we saw this price action. Price came up, stayed above this imbalance level, but now it's starting to come back through it. And price may actually just trade around here for a while, right? To fill this area up, essentially to make sure it's painting this area enough with orders before it decides which way it really wants to go, whether that's to the downside or upside has really yet to remain to be seen, but there's a lot of weight pointing bearish. Okay, let's go out to our daily charts, take a look at the total crypto market cap first. And as you guys can see, after the FOMC, price definitely launched off, and we're still in a very bullish market, right? Over $2.078 trillion. And I think that this is a good sign for the crypto market, right? Nice little W pattern. And again, guys, if you're playing W patterns, you expect to break out here. This is not what's happening, right? You're getting pushed back down, staying in this range here on total market cap. But again, market in a strong position in our opinion. When it comes to Bitcoin, scale in, scale out levels represented being hit. Discount, low premium zone. Now you're starting to come back down, maybe into a discounted zone, somewhere around the 40K level, guys. All right, so that's the top of our discount zone. If price were to go there, we think that those are very, very, very good buying opportunities, essentially because all of your imbalance will be cleared at that point, and this is a good place for you to go ahead and buy. See this big wick down here, cleared out any imbalances that you had here, and as you guys can see, any big green candles that get created, they get ran back through. Okay, now you're starting to work to the upside. I think Bitcoin has found its floor around the 30K, 40K level. It can trade anywhere within there, but it's going to find a floor somewhere there. Lowest maybe 28, 29. Okay. If price were to crash through that, there has to be an event, I think, that would have to push price that way. But if you look up, you can see many different imbalance levels that are still yet to be filled to the upside. This is what we see in regards to bullish activity as well. Not everything's bearish, guys. In the short term, we're looking bearish. Long term, definitely bullish on Bitcoin. All right, so if you're going to be investing, taking any long-term positions, we're looking at areas somewhere around 40K for our entry points. All right, that's what we're looking at, or lower. When it comes to Ethereum, Ethereum's showing a lot more strength than Bitcoin. If you're playing this W pattern, you actually did get a bit of a push on a breakout, okay? Ethereum has been performing better than Bitcoin in regards to percentage gains as well. Essentially, I think because Ethereum is still within an affordable range for somebody who wants an entire coin. For example, you know, that's why I think Ethereum still continues to push, let alone the utility. All right, but these two have found their markings and planted their feet, etched it in stone that this is what they're going to be in regards to cryptocurrency. And I think everything else is building on top of that. But Ethereum looking very strong. Scale out level at the top here within this premium zone, low premium zone, I think may actually get hit for Ethereum. And we're looking at around 36.7. If we break above into a high premium zone, again, very good areas for you to take some profits in regards to Ethereum. All right, let's look at Terra Luna. All right, again, broke very aggressively over this all-time high. We haven't set the barriers again. So I'm thinking that if you were to kind of scale this up and move this up a bit, you're looking at a low premium area starting around $60 for Terra Luna. So anything under a $60 price for Terra Luna, we think is a good buy, right? Price starting to come back down a little bit into the high premium zone. We will redraw these levels again, you know, sometime soon in the future. All right, taking a look at AVAX, also from discount to low premium zone, hit that scale out zone, starting to come back down. I think back into a discount zone if in fact price were to fall, right, guys? There's a lot of areas of imbalance right here, a lot of positive price action right here that price may actually want to come back into, but you're right at the top of that discount zone. So anything under around $77 to $75 for AVAX, we think is still a pretty good play. When it comes to Atom, same characteristics in regards to price, right? You're breaking into low premium zones, kind of coming back down into your discount. And if you're looking at this sort of from a take profit perspective, right? Scale out levels getting hit, price rejects off of them. All right, so same thing that we're seeing. And if you're interested in how to draw up these different levels on charts, how to find the discount low premium areas, scale in, scale out areas, there will be a tutorial that pops up in this video right here. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. All right, when it comes down to Chainlink, also again, you know, Chainlink, we think we tell the same story over and over and over again on Chainlink. Integral part of crypto. It will rise when the rest of the market rises, but hasn't really taken off as of late. But you can play these scale in to scale out zones within the bargain to discount zone as well, if in fact you want to make some short-term plays on Chainlink. We think it's being suppressed right now, and it definitely needs to rise out of this discount zone. Has the ability to do that if you take a look at the historical price action for sure. All right. Taking a look at XRP, we'll do a few more and then we'll get up out of here. Taking a look at XRP, again, same story that we tell with Chainlink, right? Being suppressed for the most part, staying within the scale in zone, right within this discount zone. So again, good areas of accumulation for XRP, because if it does get through this lawsuit, it will definitely break above $1 and maintain above $1, I believe. So buying it at 86 cents, you're still seeing some positive gains in that area. Solana's been very positive, right? Breaking out of the discount zone into a low premium zone, but as you guys can see, starting to come back down. These levels do have some confluence and they do matter, guys, which is why we're putting them here, right? So price comes up to that yellow line, spends a little bit of time above it, and then starts to fall from it right at the 133 level, okay? So again, if you were buying in the discount zone, taking some profits in low premium, this was a positive play for you as well. All right, we'll take a look at Polkadot, and that'll be it. All right, Polkadot also exhibiting some consolidation within this discount zone. We think Polkadot can break out, but again, a project that is sort of like a wait and see, right? We do want to see DOT expand its ecosystem a bit more and start to come into the mainstream a bit more. You know, it did have a nice little run from this discount to low premium zone. Can it do it again? Who knows? But right now, it's kind of consolidating right here in this discount zone. All right, so market is mixed, guys. I would say that you do want to look out for some bearish activity, which we have been kind of pointing out, saying that the bulls may be getting a bit trapped here, just based on what we're seeing from the larger speculators and the overall market. Still a bit uncertain. Still have a war going on, right? You still have different variants going on out there in the world that people are a bit concerned about. I think the summer is going to be a good summer, though, okay? Once you start to clear some of this uncertainty off of the table, if Russia and Ukraine do come to an agreement and there is lasting peace within that region and they can start to work together possibly, that's going to create a bit more certainty in the market, right? Once you start to get rid of these variants, and if they don't seem to be as serious as over the past couple of years, right, you're going to get a bit more certainty back in the market. The only other thing we need to really worry about is the Fed and interest rates. And if they start to tamper those down a bit, you know, you may see a little pain in the economy, but if things start to turn around from that, then you'll see better days, especially in assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else that comes into the fold. All right, guys, so that pretty much covers it. We're going to be kind of light on the videos this week. We have a lot going on just personal-wise, you know, studying up for some certifications, things of that nature. So we're not going to be posting as many videos. If we do post videos, they'll be pretty quick and kind of straight to the point so that we can get in, get out, and get right back to business on what we have to handle, you know, just in regular life. So other than that, guys, stay safe out here. Trade smart. Don't be taking very long, large positions, right? Because the market is in a chop mode right now. It's taking people out one way or the other, okay? And you will get liquidated from very fast, aggressive moves out of nowhere. That's what the market is doing, okay? So be safe trading, you know, and protect your capital, use proper risk management. Don't take anything that anyone says as any serious financial advice, even on this channel, right? We're just giving you guys things that we see in price action, and they tend to play out in regards to the levels that we're drawing, as well as the sort of things that we're calling out. But this is our biggest fear, guys. The larger speculators pushing below this zero line is what's making us think that price does want to go short a bit before it does push a bit higher. You do have some strength in this market, and I don't think crypto's going anywhere, guys. Starting to root out the scammers. There's a lot of positive news as well. All right, so stay strong out there. If you're holding, hold on for dear life. And, you know, for the most part, guys, play the game how you see it to be played. Don't worry about taking profits if someone telling you to take profits, right? Don't worry about hodling if somebody's telling you to hodl. Just follow your instinct when it comes to whether or not you're making the right decision, and use some pretty standard techniques that we use on this channel in order to make yourself a bit more valuable. All right, hang in there, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's your boy Maestro. Thanks for tuning in to The Long and Short. Salute. We out of here. Peace.